Hello guys, today I am talking about the syndrome of non-productivity, uh, which I thought is very important in today's era. For the student who are preparing for the competitive exams like pre-PG entrance exam, the medical and other tests. The students who are preparing for the exams are mostly from the middle class families, and they are very active and they are hardworking people. They are hardworking students. They can work more than 12 hours. They can work hard. They can work more. But the problem of today's era is there are many sources for one thing. There are many sources from the one subject. There are many sources for one topic. So students tend to confuse, and the syndrome of non-productivity is there. What is the syndrome of non-productivity? The people who are very active, who can hard work, who can work more than the others, who can work even 12, 14 hours, who can read 12, 14 hours, but cannot produce that much of good results. Why? Because more than one half of them, I say more than 75%, tend to remain in the imaginations of the best tomorrow, of the best tomorrow's reading. Why? Because there are many sources of the same thing. Like per se in the PPG preparation, there are many MCQ books available for the one subject particularly. There are many MCQ books for the one subject. There are papers, there are class notes, there are internet groups, there are WhatsApp groups, there are many things, there are many sources. So students tend to confuse while they see that every sources has something new, something new, something good, something good. And the human mind try to recruit all the good things. But believe me, you or me or even anyone cannot recruit all the sources for one topic or one subject in this life. So they tend to remain in the planning. Small things like they small things tend to divert them, and they have imagination or imaginary fear and some pre-decided fear. What is that? So like per se, we try to read the pre-PG exam, and we have all the subjects which we already had completed in last year, but we have medicine and surgery which we cannot read in the last year. So we try to read that, but because of big subject, we try to avoid medicine. We try to avoid medicine till last, even if we know that we cannot read big books of medicine like double A, like Priteshing, like you know, or even if we can read, we cannot revise it effectively. But what we do that we tend to avoid them till the last by thinking that we can do it after completion of other subjects. That's okay, but when we decide to do, like I will start medicine today from the double A, and I have a fear, so instead of medicine I took psyche, I took ortho, I took something small subject and try to read that. So I have an imaginary fear for the medicine. I have an imaginary fear for the big double A and big preteshing book. So some pre-decided fears are there. So what I do is I want to revise my planning. I revise my planning, and I revise in such a manner that everything should be okay at the end. If I have 55 days and I made my plan, all the subjects I can read, I can revise with what I decide to do, like 2 to 3 times. 5 days I waste, and I have a 50 days. Again I made a plan. In this plan also, I can read all the subjects. I can revise all the subjects. I can accommodate according to that, and after making my plan, I become relaxed. I become relaxed that I can do all things very well, no problem, no tension. And I waste that day also in doing small subjects or in doing the things which I have not supposed to do. I am not supposed to do. So I diverted easily. That is the trap. I waste my time in resource recruitment. I find some another book, some DEMS material, some notes, some blah 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 things for that subject, for that topic. I decide to do the main topic, but instead of do the main topic, small work or something other topic today and imaginary today, I passed, I relaxed, and I decided to keep all these bloody things for the tomorrow, which is very shining tomorrow. I expected that is the best tomorrow. But these all today, imaging and relaxing today, are summed up at the end, and we become a non-productive. Non-productive per se, we are very active, but we are not as productive as our activity. Obviously, we remain active for 12 hours, 14 hours. Some productivity is there, but it is not as much as what we want. So, at the end of the day, there is a stress accumulation, there is a fear accumulation, there is some new source recruitment of the reading instead of reading the one source which we have. We are very anxious. Most of the students who are competing for the entrance exams are very anxious states. So, and the deviation from the central flow is obviously the result. So, at the end of some days, you think that I started to read from this day, and there is a month or 2 month, and I am in planning what I planned from first day. So you underestimate yourself and remain in planning, and your mind become weak. So there is no gain for today. You have no plus for today, and that is like you have a Audi, you have petrol, you can drive, you have a road, and you have a time also, but there is a puncture in the tire, so you cannot ride that Audi even if you want. So that is a state of mental paralysis. What is the state of mental paralysis? The people remain active throughout the day. People are thinking throughout the day, made plan throughout the day, made imaginations throughout the day, but daily they do this thing only. Daily. Most of the time in which they are active, like from the 12 hour, the 5 hour, 6 hour, 7 hour, they waste in imagination and timetable, and the result what they expected to achieve, they cannot be achieved. So these are the people who have a mental paralysis. I also passed through that stage when I was preparing for the pre-PG, and so I decided to inform you about that danger. So guys, what is the solution? The solution is commitment. Commitment to self, that I remain in the central flow. No excuses. Mind gave you excuses if you have a same habit while you are starting to read the main topic or the big subject. But believe me, give up all the excuses, remain in the central flow, stick to the central flow, remain in the work, not in the timetable. Some people, including me, when I was preparing for the pre-PG, half of the day I am in my timetable. I am preparing my timetable. While the other, some students are in work. So remain in the work constantly. Try to remain in the work, not in the timetable or imagination. To keep the main thing is the main thing. What is your main thing? What is your goal today? Stick to it. Don't change it. Even if you know that by sticking to it I cannot complete something, like you have better thinking during the day, you have better thought, you have better plan during the day, but believe me, plans are infinite and they are never ending. So better plan is what you can execute, not you can imagine. So stick to your morning plan, not deviate by afternoon or noon plan. So stop tomorrow attitude. You have to do all the things today only. And don't allow mind to set new goals during the day. There is a time at the end of the day where you can retrospect you, where you can report you how many hours I am active and how much my production, how much I want to do from at morning, and how much I can do. 80%, 90%, 70%. Try to increase that by decreasing that imagination and these fallacies. Thank you very much.